How's it going? Today is 9th of October, Wednesday, and we're gonna be taking a look at the market, what's happening in the world. Not necessarily I don't think there are that many opportunities. I have found one opportunity. In UK, if you interested in pursuing cybersecurity, government is looking to hire a lot of professionals, so that would be opportunity, but that would be it's time to, I guess, depending, right? I haven't read entire contract. I have seen a little bit and what kind of demographics they're looking to engage, all these kind of things, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Let's progress. Let's take a look at perhaps what's happening in the world, and we're gonna be taking a look at software companies that will be potentially. U.S. considers breaking up Google in a landmark. They want to use word search, which is, I guess, hilarious. Case. But for people who understand it, the massive company, and this is what they're saying that they are doing. But I don't know. For people who understand it, perhaps let's move on to the next article, right? That will be exclusive. OpenAI to remove non-profit control and give some equity, right? Which is amazing. This company have collected all of our intellectual property, used it to learn from it, intellectual property, and train different models on our intellectual property. Since it was operating under non-profit, after they have done it, they're looking to progress into for-profit company. It just happens to be very smooth transition between search engine, which is hilarious, into for-profit company. Amazing. Things do cost money. Yes, things do cost money, and they're looking to make a lot of money out of other people's work, intellectual property, right? So I thought I'll touch on it. I haven't read any of those articles, right? For people who are interested, perhaps you can read it. And who doesn't understand it, all these kind of things, right? What great things these people are doing with setting up a companies. We're raising a lot of capital and initiating this project. And there might be some people, some court cases, all these kind of things, right? So there's a lot of drama, right? I don't want to get into it. Let's progress and let's take a look at the next articles, right? Briefly, we can touch on some of those areas that we were taking a look at yesterday. That would be how some of those processes would be streamlined when it comes to regulatory barriers, AI, just one of those, healthcare, all these kind of things, right? Including unmanned area vehicles that potentially will be drones, and there might be a lot of influx into this market, right? So that was published 3 days ago after the Dutch defense minister pledges 400 million for Ukraine drone plan. Drones themselves have to be hardware, and there might be some software solutions as well, right? So for I'll touch on it, let's progress. And that would be next article. That would be Ukraine ramps up arm production, can produce 4 million drones a year. 400, yeah, something that was published 7 days ago. I haven't read any of those articles. It's just that most likely Ukraine gonna be looking to match production capacity of counterparts. So that's the only thing that's happening. We're looking at least match it, right? If we can produce even more than 4 million, even better, since they might be going against over $100 billion of military complex. So this is what they're going against. So, which might be interesting thing to cover since there's a lot of attention in the space. Even there, perhaps a lot of people talking about it, not necessarily that's interesting. Perhaps let's take a look at a little bit more in the details and some of those projects. Let's go a little bit deeper and let's try to understand some of the projects. When we're talking about drones and drone technology, let's take a look at some of those projects, right? Potentially, we're gonna be taking a look at briefly. I haven't read it. From what I understand, that might be technology, right? And if there might be a lot of interest or investment into different markets, in particular drone markets, perhaps there might be a lot of developments in the space as well as very complex technologies. And many businesses and or governments looking to capture, not to destroy, to capture some of that technology. So that's a brief of how I understood it. That's the details of Russian Su-57 fighter opt to stop a high-value stealth drone falling into NATO's hands, right? So since we have a lot of engineers on one side trying to build very complex and difficult to develop technology, and we potentially gonna have another government-owned businesses or engineers. It's gonna be people, right? We're looking to develop very complex and difficult to research technology, right? So you have one party and one group and another group of engineers, and they're potentially gonna develop this technology. As if that wasn't complex and hard enough, other one group of engineers will try to capture another group of engineers' technology, so to say, right? Anyway. So, I don't know, for as long as no one would get hurt and it's only engineers and all of the prototypes fighting each other, that's that's a complex. That might be. I don't know. Either way. So potentially this group most likely going to be looking to capture a Su-57 fighter, and if they were to be able to capture, that would be a lot of work and no time and capital wasted. So I don't know. So there was a bounty, right? So perhaps NATO might be interested in putting bounty on capturing Su-57 fighter stealth drone. If NATO would put, I don't know, 100,000 euros bounty on capturing, there might be a lot of interesting people up there trying to capture the drone. Yes, it might be interesting. But anyway, let's progress to the next article, right? And just to close the studio, I thought let's touch on something that's very, very important. That would be information, and people should be more careful about where they're getting the information from, all these kind of things, right? So that would be important area to focus on, since that information can be presented in different ways. So that would be most likely most important to most people watching this video, right? That would be thousands of protests in Hungary. Demanding anti-state media propaganda, right? So something that was published 3 days ago. So I believe from all these articles and everything what we have covered, and people are noticing what kind of information they are presented with and where and how they supposed to be thinking and what they actually are thinking, and there's a push and pull, all these kind of things. And if anything, if this is how many people are on the streets, perhaps it's something that's really happening there, right? I'm just saying, right? Thousands of Hungarian gathered outside of headquarters of the country's state television Saturday. So potentially taxpayers are paying for media, and that media that taxpayers are paying, that's how I understood it, right? Not what they want to see and not what they want to hear, but perhaps other people have very particular agenda, and which has been pushed on to these people, right? Protesting against what they describe as government's propaganda machine and calling for independent public service media. It's something that we had here in UK very recently, where more than 10,000, I believe it was about 40,000 people complaining about BBC, national UK's broadcaster, in the way how UK have handled. They have started investigation where they were investigating themselves if they're doing anything wrong. Potentially, let's see if there's gonna be something similar happening in Hungary, if they're gonna investigate themselves or what's gonna happen, right? The protesters from the opposing, that is the parties, we're not looking to get political, other than perhaps if that's how many people are on the streets, there might be something worth concerning, right? I haven't read it, but I already know, and this information has been presented by UK in English. So it's not again they might be presenting in their own agenda. So I'm not even interested in reading it. Anyway, let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Right.